Hey Virgo, how you doing, sweetie? You good? Yeah, I was good. I had a good day today. Everything went well. Same shit, different day. Okay, good. How'd you make out the other day with that situation? You don't have to elaborate on it, but just wonder if it was okay. You don't need to go. Okay, well that's good. Hey Barbie, how you doing? Well, so it all worked out then. That's good. Good, good, good. That's a plus. How you doing, Barbie? Still cold as heck out there. Here it's pretty cold today. It's been very windy and cold. That's crazy. Oh boy. You're good? Yeah, I'm all right. All is good. Deep freeze starting tomorrow. Oh god. Here on Saturday night into Sunday, we're supposed to have very bad weather. Like 45-mile-an-hour winds, rain, wind, all that bullshit. And I'm supposed to go out Saturday night to this party. My cousin just asked me if I'm still going. I said, well, I'm only going if the weather's, and I know it's inside, but we still have to drive there and we have to find a park. And then if it's pouring ass rain, I'm not gonna get out of my car and walk like 5 minutes in the rain. My sister's like, "Well, it's inside." I was like, "Well, you can go in the fucking rain then and get all wet and go to the party, stupid. Not me." I'm like, "You think I'm gonna go in the rain to a party that's indoors and then get inside and be all wet and be in there like, yeah, I'm so happy I'm all wet. If it's fucking raining, I ain't going nowhere. Because if you park in the city, where this place is hardly any parking on that street because they got like construction going on. And when I said that, my sister was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Exactly." And my cousin too. I told him, I said, "That's the worst place to park on that street." And then we have to park elsewhere, and if you have to walk over in the rain, I ain't doing that. Hell no, I'm not that desperate to go to a party. But I'm trying to be positive. I do want to go. I want to have fun, and see all my friends and shit. Yeah, I'd be nice to listen to somebody else play music but me. But I'm not gonna pay $20 to go into a place all fucking wet. Hell no. Just have to like park somewhere close and then see what the weather's like, and then when it look at the radar and when it rain is not there, then jump out of the car and go. I'm not saying I'm not gonna go completely, but if the weather's really bad, I definitely ain't going nowhere. I'd rather be here. Fuck that. There'll be other parties. I have my own party in my own damn house. Oh no, you got an injection in your tailbone. Oh shit. That's not good. Hope you're all right. Yeah, everybody always says I'm trying to keep the pipes from freezing. That's crazy. I don't know why they don't do anything about that. I'm sure there's a way for your pipes not to freeze. There has to be a way. You're not the only person who's told me that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you have to keep it running in order for it to not freeze, right? But doesn't that cost like a lot of fucking electricity and shit? Like, that's crazy. It's like the world, it's like it's a big fucking scam. During the winter, you have to keep your water running for the pipes and shit not to freeze. You gotta put your heater on. And then during the summer, you gotta keep your AC on. Like it's so fucked up, man. You never get like a real break. It's just overnight dripping a bit. Oh, okay. Well, that's not that bad. But still, like just to have it on, that's a pain in the ass, like to me. Like we couldn't do that here because our pumps would be running like crazy. Oh, well, that's good. You're supposed to have snow showers tonight. And shit. Well, yeah, in Nebraska, it's probably you know, a lot better than it is in where Barb is, and wherever all these other people are. Like even like when I watch all that shit in Minneapolis, like everybody like in Minnesota, all those idiots on the street in the snow. Like, and I'm like, you people ain't fucking you people ain't cold out here protesting like a bunch of morons. I'm like, hell no, it's too fucking cold to be out there. They must be used to it, not me. I won't be out there in no damn snow. Fuck that. You can see like people talking and all like their breath is showing in the air. I'm like, oh hell no. You don't see that shit in Bermuda. It's very, very rare that day happens. Yours has been running for a week. See, that's crazy. So who the hell told me that one time? Somebody told me their pipes were they can't have their pipes freezing. I think it was Tanya, Miss Bikini. She told me the same thing. Yeah, that's true, Barbie. It's all good, Virgo. I know how you are. You get fun slapped on a regular. Well, yeah, you'd rather have a high water bill than busted pipes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But like, it's so crazy how that happens. Like, they should. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Fuck. No, I'm not a plumber, so I wouldn't know. But see, the problem here in Bermuda is our houses are concrete blocks. So when it gets really hot, the sun bakes the shit out of the concrete block, and then it makes the inside of the wall so hot that the AC has to work so hard. So if you don't put your AC on, like, like the second or third, like medium, not high, but like next to high, the next one down or two, like, how, like some ACs have like five dots: low, low, medium, 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 high, and high. You have to have yours on medium like all day. But the good thing is, wintertime, we don't use, like, I don't use a heater. And if I need a heater, I just turn my AC to heat. But it's very, very seldom that that I would use a heater, because I don't find it cold at all here. I mean, there's some nights where I'm like, holy shit, it is pretty cool, but for me, but I wouldn't put on the heater. It ain't that old. It ain't that cold. I think so. Yeah. Hey Dan, how you doing, brother? How was it? How was the appointment today? Hopefully you got good news. You're here, so you're alive. So they didn't get you. So that's good. Well, there's a lot of states like that are cold as shit out there. Right now, everywhere is cold in the United States. There's a lot of places that are cold as shit. They were saying that it's cold in Florida right now, and had snow flurries and shit and all that crap. I'm like, hell no. Florida's not even known for like that type of shit, for it to be that cold. But sometimes it happens, even in Bermuda. It'll go down in the 40s sometimes, which is nowhere. That's crazy for us. Like, it never reaches that cold. But I remember last year it was down to 47. And I was like, oh, hell no. I'm going to stay the fuck inside, close my windows and my doors. I ain't going nowhere. But like right now, it's like, I think it's like 60 something. Oh, that's good news, Dan. The swelling's gone down. Took an x ray, didn't say anything. He redressed the toe and repacked the wound. Good news. See? You're all right, bro. It's a long way from your heart. That's a good thing. I'm happy, bro. That's good news. I'm glad everything's okay, man. Our Leo is doing okay. Our little lion. That's good. Let me see what the temperature is right now. It's 59. So 56 tonight. So apparently we're in the 50s, which is okay. I don't mind. 23 miles an hour wind. It is pretty windy out there. Let me see what it says for Saturday. Oh boy. See, Saturday night I'm supposed to go out and look what the weather for Saturday night is. Increasing to 25 to 35 knots with 45 knots towards the evening. South at 40 knots. Scattered to widespread showers developing from the afternoon, very poor visibility, and a chance of thunderstorms. Oh boy. And then on Sunday in the afternoon, it's supposed to reach 60 gusts of 60 knots. Oh boy. Holy shit. So Sunday is going to be really bad. But Saturday night it's going to start. And I'm supposed to go out Saturday night into Sunday morning. Yeah, right. If it's gonna be that bad, I ain't going nowhere. I'll catch you another time. Like hell am I going somewhere? Fuck that shit. No, 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 no. He even admitted he gets on his knees and prays before he does an operation. Yeah, he goes in for an operation. Okay, well that's a good thing. I do the same thing when I do an electrical panel on a house. Yeah, that's good, bro. I'm glad. I'm glad you got somebody that knows what they're doing. That's always a blessing, you know. So he's a man of faith. That's why you're all right. That's why you're good to go, bro. See what happens when you have faith? See what happens when you're a man of faith? Everything works out. One time somebody caught me praying on the concrete with my on my knees praying in front of an electrical panel. I never forget. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm praying." Why? You're a good electrician. I said, "I don't give a fuck." You know, there's breakers that are in there, these wires that are in there, those things can all malfunction. A switch, a light, that's out of my, I can't control how somebody made a part. These things can malfunction and break and blow the fuck up. Who they're gonna blame? Me. So I have to pray for everybody else's shit not to fuck up too. I'm on my knees. I was on my knees praying in front of that panel. That was like my first big job. I was like, please, Spirit, please, God, don't let nobody fuck this shit up for me, please. Please don't let nothing go wrong. Please don't let this house burn down because of me. Please, Jesus, don't do it. Please, just do this for me this one time. And then I started doing more and more jobs. I never forget the one job I went. I heard the door open and I sprung up real fast. And I was like, all right, I'll pray later when everybody's gone. I don't like people seeing me do that, like, because they're probably like, oh, fuck, this guy's praying. That means he's a dumbass. He don't know what he's doing. No, I actually pray because I know that I know I did a good job, but I just pray that nothing goes wrong, nothing malfunctions. Yeah, some people, pray that way and some people don't give a shit. But I always pray after every job I do. When I finish especially electrical, especially if I do like a panel, because that's like the heart of the electrical, right? So when I put the panel all together and wire it all up, when I pop on those breakers and nothing trips, then I know I did a good job. Then I turn everything on. And I'm like, I pray in every room. I'm like, please don't let nothing happen in this room. Please don't let nothing happen in this room. Then when I leave the actual house, I pray again. And then when I get home at night, before I go to sleep, I pray again. Meanwhile, Spirit must be like, this guy prays too damn much. All right, bro. You're good. We got you. Well, God is all around us every day. Yeah, God is everything. So you gotta remember, like, the main thing is to always remember that whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Even if something bad happens, you're not supposed to sit there and condemn God about what happened to you. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, I think a lot of people think that just because they pray, nothing's gonna happen. But nothing will happen if your faith is at the 110% level. And I really do feel that because that's how I feel for the past 20 years. I literally beg God sometimes to do anything but certain things. So I feel like the more faith I have, the more good things happen to me. But some people, like, they when they have a tragedy happen or something bad happens, man, they just automatically just condemn God. Like, oh shit, yeah, that is scary. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I just find like if you do it if you pray every single day, and this is from experience, I pray every single day. I pray over a Bible that I got from my communion. I still have a Bible from 40 years ago that I bought for 19.99. I still have the box, the price on it. I found it not too long ago underneath my bed in my room when I was renovating a couple years ago. Ever since then, I took that Bible home. I put it on my one of my dressers here at the house upstairs in my room. I cleared it all out and I put it there, and I pray over it every day before I go to sleep. Nothing long. Not I don't do long prayers and all that. I just thank God for everything. Tell Him to take care of me and my family. I even name people. Things like that. Even my dad, even with my dad being gone, I still pray for him. You know, that's just the way I is. Like, I pray, period. Like, and when you guys say you're gonna have something, done to you, I pray for you guys at the same time. When I'm finished praying, I'll be like, oh, P.S. By the way, I would like to pray for Dan. Make sure he's okay. I like to pray for so and so. I'll pray for Tanya or whatever. Whoever has any problems in here, I'll pray for you. And I feel like if I pray for you, something good's gonna happen because I already have that mentality that I have the power to make that happen. See what I mean? Oh, that's the thing, Barbie. You do have a choice when you have those type of surgeries and things like that. You have the chance to go. It's a choice, like you said. I believe that very much. A lot of people have said that to me. And I believe that 110%. I don't want to go either. I want to stay here and just I ask God every day for me to be his example. And I always use this example I'm about to tell everybody. It's during COVID, and everybody was scared, right? My family was pressuring me to go get the V. And I refused it. I said, I'm not getting that shit. I'm not putting that shit in my body. I said, you guys are all hypocrites. If you believe in God, why the fuck you gonna go get it? Oh, but this is different. I said, no, it's not different. It's not happening. I don't know. Is it buffering for anyone else? You might just refresh. That sucks. Barbie said no. My internet's on full. So my internet's full, so it ain't my internet. My internet's full blast. She's good to go. Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with praying for people. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like you can pray for anybody, really, but You got to pray with some type of intention, you know? I always feel like when I pray, I have that I honestly feel like I have power to pray for somebody and heal them and have that like it's in my mind, you know? And if you really really believe things, it happens. And that's how I am with my family. You know, I always pray 110% for them every day. And I even pray for things that people would never even think of. And it's not even about asking in your prayers. It's more of thanking instead of like really asking. You're not supposed to be asking for shit every day. Like, you know? But if you're asking for like decent things like protection and and to make sure you're okay and make sure nothing bad happens to you, make sure your operation is good, or your health and things like that. Those are all cool things to like to say, but there's more to life than that. You should be praying for a lot of other things too, but you should also give gratitude at the same time you're praying. I say thank you a million times during my prayers. I'm not really. I know that there's like I tell people all the time, my whole belief is that you know God sees us all and hears all of us, but the thing is he sends our past loved ones to help us because he can't do everything. He's a part of all those people anyway. He's a part of everybody. But the thing is like everybody in our family are the ones that are taking care of us now. That's their duty in spirit world. They're here on earth helping us because heaven is earth. You know, that's what I believe. There's no pearly gates in some fucking place where all these people are. I don't really believe all of that. That's why they have cemeteries. They put your corpse in there, and then your spirit runs wild. It just goes wherever it wants to go, wherever you want to go. You become like a being, and a spiritual being, and you just go around doing whatever the fuck you want. You continue your life. That's how I believe. That's what I believe, at least. There's a lot of things I believe and I don't believe. I don't believe that you come back again into this world as a different person. I believe that to a certain extent, if you're, because all these people talk about their past lives. If everybody is unique in their own way, then how can everybody have a past life? That's just my thing. And I think the reason why past lives are created and said by people, so that way you can get a psychic to give you an extra money reading on some bullshit that didn't even exist. And how the fuck can a psychic tell you about your past life when there is none? If that person believes that. So I don't really believe in past life things. And I believe you have one life and you live it. And then you become a spirit. But if you ask God, if you fail here, as in your physical life, God might say, "Hey, look, you need to go back because you fucked up." But I don't believe that. I really don't. I don't believe people come back. Pretty much. Past lives is something I don't really believe in. I have a hard time believing that. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be true. There could be past lives, but I very much doubt it. Because if there was past lives, then why did Jesus exist? Why did he rise from the dead and come back? He could have just had another. He could have had another life. Why would he come back as the same person? So that right there is telling you past lives don't exist. To me, that's my analogy of it. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know everything, but that's just my belief. Take it or leave it, you know. I think we all have one life, we live it, and then after that, we're all in spirit. And it's that simple. But these people out here, they be talking to hear themselves. And some people say they astro travel, like they leave their bodies and go to different places. I'm like, yeah, you probably had too much to fucking drink, too much to smoke, or you've been dreaming you too fucking much. Need to stay awake. So there's a lot of things that I'm against and I don't really believe too much in. But like I said, somebody can look at me and say, you say you talk to dead people and to spirit. That's bullshit. I don't believe that. You're fucking making shit up. And then when I prove them wrong, you know, they're like, okay, well, you can do it, but I don't believe certain people, everybody can do it, or I don't believe in this, or maybe you got lucky, or maybe you saw a picture of, my mom before you read for me and you just memorized it. I'm like, okay, buddy, whatever you say. So people can just like, have their opinions of everything and they can say whatever they want. It's all good. If you believe in that shit that I don't, then I'm not gonna look at you different. I'm just gonna be like, well, I don't. You can. I'll make my points and you can make yours. It's all good. If you can make me a believer, that's great. Well, the thing is, man, a lot of people I know this chick and she said she astro travels and she tells me certain things and then she tells me this and tells me that. And then after she told me all of that shit, and after like, someone else told me about her saying things to them too. And I respect this person. Like I help them and I know them. And she had some issues after that. She had health issues and she had all this shit happen to her. And I was like, well, the reason all that shit happened to you is because you're like over here fucking hallucinating and fucking thinking that you're actually having all these things and it's just an illusion in your fucking brain that you're making up. That's why you're suffering now and you're all fucked up and sick. And that's why she's always got issues. Because when you deal with certain things, it's demonic energy. That's what it really is. It's the devil tricking you. The devil tricks you to believe things. Because the devil is a very powerful spirit as well. And they can get you to think whatever you want and make you believe shit. So they can tap into you and trick your ass. All right, Virgo, take care. Good seeing you. I'm glad everything is good on your end. You too, thanks. It was someone who was still in the house. Yeah. Well, spirit can definitely be in the house even without you knowing. And that's what happened here. When my brother in law, when my ex brother in law left this house, the boys were up in the attic where he was all the time. And it's now an attic and a games room and a games area. And I'm in the workshop, and those guys said that they felt weird up there after he left, and they felt like they heard things, or they felt like they didn't feel comfortable. And then my youngest nephew said that when he slept at night, he would hear things, and he didn't feel comfortable in his room. And then he came to me and told me all this shit that all this stuff was happening. And they asked me that when I go over there, do I hear anything or feel anything? I'm like, no, not really. I was like, they must be bothering you. And then when they see me, they don't bother me. Because when I'm there with them, the spirit didn't bother them because they knew better. They didn't bother me, or them. But when they were by themselves, the spirit will come out and fuck with them. And come to find out, it was, their great grandfather, which they never met. And it was my ex brother in law's grandfather. And he was a piece of shit. He was a piece of work. And this same woman that I was talking about, she helped me get him out of there. But I had to like block the doorway so he wouldn't come through. Because he feared that he was gonna have to deal with me. And I saw him. And I was like, yo, you need to get out of here, bro. Your grandson's gone. These kids don't know you, they don't want nothing to do. You're not gonna be scaring nobody else around here. You already been here too long. You can go live with your grandson and whoever the fuck you want, but you won't be in this house no more. Today is the last day. So he was pretty ignorant and he got mad. And I was at the doorway and then and it was the room's like this and then it has the bathroom. And I said, leave that bathroom door open. Don't touch it. And I'll stand in front of this door. He can't go nowhere. So she had this, she had the sage and she had like her little gadgets and stuff. And I said, look, keep going close to the wall and go all the way around till you get to me. And then when you get to me, just stay with me. Don't go nowhere. And she goes, you see him? I'm like, yeah, I see him. And she was all freaked out because she can't see spirit. But I saw his ass. And I was like, keep going, bro. Go right through the bathroom. And I want you to go through the window and don't come back ever again. So I'm telling him this, and she's saying, she was saying whatever she was saying, come on, please leave, whatever. So I see him going to the bathroom. And then when he went in the bathroom, I told him, go ahead, get out of here, And then she looked at me like this, and I looked at her, and in back of her was the bathroom and the door. And all I saw was the door go like this. Boom. And she jumped out of her fucking skin. And she was like, what just happened? And she wouldn't even turn around. She was shaking. I said, he left. He got so pissed he slammed the fucking door on his way out. And then I said, I'm going to go in there. You stay here by the door, right? And I'm going to go over and open that door and go. She goes, better you than me. I'm not going over there. I said, yeah, don't come over here. I'll go in there and deal with him. So when I opened the door, on the screen, it had a yellow residue from him leaving through the screen. And that's how I knew he was gone because that screen was clean. That whole area just had been cleaned by cleaners. So when he went through the screen, I saw the yellow residue. And then I had to clean it afterwards when she left. And then I knew he was gone because I didn't see him in there no more. I searched, looked around, and I was like, yeah, he's gone. And he never come back ever since. And the kids have never said anything else, anything about the house or nothing. They haven't felt uncomfortable ever since that day. And that's all you got to do. You got to get rid of them. But you got to know how to do it. And you got to be very, strict. And you got to be very say, get the fuck out. We don't want you in here no more. Get up. So if you can see him, bang, you can deal with him. And I described him to my sister because my sister knew him before he died. And I said to my sister goes, so who was it? And I said, he looks like this, and this. She goes, oh my God, that's his grandfather. And I was like, well, there you go. He's gone. She's like, oh, she just called me just now and told me that she would have never believed that shit unless she was with you. And she goes, she don't want to do that no more. I said, well, I needed somebody to help me. And she was the only candidate at the time. So, but she said she don't want to do that shit no more. It freaked her out, see. I showed her how powerful spirit is, but he wasn't powerful enough though, you know. And plus, if he really wanted to, he could have like, acted up and just had me chase him around the whole fucking house. But he was cornered, so I got him good. And obviously, I had my own spirit team at the time that was with me in there. So if he would have acted up, they would have just got rid of him anyway. But it's a process you have to go through to get people out of your house. So if it was somebody who was still in the house, then it's a process to get them out of there. Some people, sometimes they'll leave, and sometimes you gotta force them out. Sometimes they'll just leave on their own. It's a difficult situation sometimes because a lot of people don't believe that shit, but it definitely is true. Spirit definitely hangs out at your house, whether you like it or not. And then if it's bad, then you have to get somebody to get them out of there. Yeah. Oh, you got some ads? Great. That's great news. When you come in here and say ads, I know how great it is. Yeah, I remember that, Barbie. Yeah. That's when I was doing like mediumship readings and I put you down on the list that time and we tapped into your husband or something like that. I believe that's when it was. I think I've done it like twice for you. I remember most of the readings that I do or most of the things that I've done for people. I remember a lot of them. Not all of them. Obviously, it's impossible for me to remember everything. But if you remind me or like, yeah, then I'll get like a vision of it. So that's how I remember. I'm good, Tanya. All's good. How about you? We're just talking about spirit stories. You can handle it. If anybody can do it, you can. I'll keep you company. I'll keep you company. I'll come on tomorrow. I'll come on in the morning, wash my dishes. I'm gonna make cookie brownies tomorrow. And I have tomorrow's Friday, so I'll definitely be live because I have to fix up the fish, marinate the fish, clean them up, and then I'm gonna do cookie brownies tomorrow on my live. And I'm gonna probably cook breakfast or what and all that shit. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. I might do all of that tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably go to my mom's and give her some fish. Yeah, he's all good. Bro is good. He's good to go. The doctor said it's a long way from your heart, so you're good. That's because he sits on the bed. A lot of spirit go to the bed. They're always in the bedroom because that's where you are the most. You know, sometimes they're always in an area where you are the most. So if you're in your bedroom a lot, they're in there. And then, when they're in there, they're gonna make like a noise you know, to say, "Hey, I'm here." You know. So even like when you watch TV, like you might feel their presence on the couch where you're sitting, or like you'll hear something happen. You'll hear like a noise. It's all like spiritually related. Sometimes you actually feel it where they can like the energy is so, you know, powerful that you can actually feel them next to you, like a little vibration, or your hair will be like they'll touch you, like, and you'll feel it. It's cool shit. It happens to me sometimes. Sometimes when I'm sitting down on my couch, I feel like something's touching my leg, and it's my dog, my first dog, not Diamond, but my first dog. He always hangs out with me sometimes, and he rubs up against my leg. So I'm like, what the fuck why is my leg feel this way? And then I'll just close my eyes and I can see him, and he's like touching my leg, sitting next to me. And sometimes we get the sensation, or we get touched by them. It's cool shit when you think about it. It's nice to know that they're there. So, well, either way, Dan, everything's good. I'm glad you're okay, and hopefully there's no more burn fragments in there. Hopefully he did his job like he says he did, and hopefully Spirit made sure that the rest of the burns are dealt with if there is any. When they made sure he got his shit right. Most likely he did. If you're not feeling any serious pain, then the burns are probably gone. He probably got them all. I'm optimistic that he did. I always hear weird noises. I see smoke in the kitchen. Yeah, 2, 3 days ago, the humming vibration. That's a good thing. If it's vibrating and humming, that's a good thing. Yeah, if somebody earns a hum, they're usually there anyway. Whoever earned a hum and they died, and it went to you or whoever else you're living there, they always visit. It's their home, it's still their home technically. Even if they sold it, they still want to go there, and a lot of spirit won't even bother you. They just want to be around, or just be cool and just like chill. You know, I've had other mediums tell me that my uncle is in my apartment all the time, hanging out with me, watching football and shit, and he'll come see me because He was my favorite uncle and my godfather. And, I always looked up to him and stuff. So he hangs out with me. He was like the first one to hang out with me. And then recently, like I connected with my grandfather because I never met him. I didn't know him. And when I put the plaque on his grave, because no one else did, when I put the plaque on his grave, everything changed for me after that day. A lot of things happened that make me believe even more. And I'll never forget the thing that I did before I left. When I put the plaque on the grave, the last thing I said was, I hope you're happy, with what I did. And then when I got on my bike and I rode home, and I got home, like I just felt like a different vibe around me. I just felt like I had done something that was meant to be done. And ever since that day, things have been different for me in a good way. I feel like I gained my grandfather in spirit more, you know. I feel like he deserved a plaque after all he done for us. So yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't have any, if Barbie, if you don't have any beef with the person that owned the house, then you should be fine. Because if you had beef with them or you had some type of discrepancies with them, they will haunt your ass every day and try to push you out of there. But if you're cool with them, then they're gonna be so happy that you're there instead of somebody else. So they'll protect the home more for you. Yeah, and that's probably why those things happen because they knew he was gonna pass away around that time, and you got put there in place, to take over it, which is a good thing. I put it to everybody this way: the more you believe, the more you'll receive. It's that simple. If you're willing to receive the power of spirit all around you, then you'll get it. If you don't, it's going to be a longer process. Well, there you go. That's why they don't bother you. They totally trust you in the house. Hmm. When you say huge man, was he was like he was a big fat guy? That's a good one. Never hope. Never hope. Well, it's better than being a widow. Or you could be a Leo. Yeah. Well, I got an image of a thick guy, and I got an image of his son. Could be his son, like a tall, skinnier guy. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I got an image of these two guys, and they're at the table and they're eating, and then I get an image of the big guy getting up and then going out to like a car. I could see like a sedan looking old car that he got into. Like he's showing me this old type of car that he got into. It might not have been at that time, but maybe that was his first car, or maybe there was a car he drove at one point. It's like a sedan looking car. I can't really see the whole thing or what model it is or anything like that, but I could see him like walking out to the car. Like he's kind of taking me on a tour, and then I could see like this garage where he like parked in front of. There was a garage, and it was small though. And then it's like this plant hanging off the porch area that he's at. He's like, this guy's showing me some stuff, but it might not be like exactly where he was, but it looks like a different area where he drove to every day. Yeah, something like that. He's like showing me some type of shit. That's a cool guy though. He's not bad or anything. He just like wants to show me some stuff. Seems like a happy-go-lucky type of guy. He said you have nothing to worry about. That they're always there to help you and protect you. And apparently the son is with the mother. Plants hanging, yeah. So it must be where he is then. 'Cause I see like you know how people have those plants hanging from like their porch areas and shit. Some people here have that too. My sister used to have that here, but then the wind got so crazy it blew the plants right off. Yeah, he's telling me somebody, like some woman, died from cancer, and she was all like shriveled up and fucked up, like her whole body deteriorated. Looks like an elderly lady, little shorter than he is, obviously, but she had like straight hair to like her shoulders. She looked terrible at the time. Like you know how like you get those diseases and it makes your whole body shrivel up, like it fucking eats your body alive. It must be like some shit like that. He's telling me. He's showing me some lady. Could be his grandmother too. Mm. He just showed me like an image of him. He showed me a image of him singing in the car. Yeah, he was just like showing me some stuff. I always tell Spirit, don't be graphic with me. I don't want to see all that type of shit. So he briefly showed like a little flash of someone all fucked up, but that's about it. The person doesn't look good. He just wanted me to like know something like that. Maybe it's something that you know, so he can confirm that this is him and the stories that well, the things that I'm telling you. Mm. All right, Dan. Glad you're okay, brother. That's good news, man. I'm happy you're all right. Yeah, that sucks. Getting hooked on fucking drugs and shit. That's not good. Just me and the voices in my head. Voices in my head. That's nice. That's very nice of them to do that, Barbie. How old is like your oldest son? Or maybe no. It can't be. It must be brother. Nah, it's not that then. I was trying to figure out something that I heard, but I don't think it's that though. It's something else. No, no, it's not. It's not your no. It's not your son then. It's we know what it is you said you have a lot of brothers, right? Is your oldest brother is he alive? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm hearing, you know what I mean? I just don't want to say anything. I have to figure out what the heck they're saying because I'm getting like some muffled communication. Like that's why I said it can't be your son because he's too young. this person's older. And I was like, she doesn't have a son that old. So it must be one of your brothers, but it could be your oldest. I have to figure out if your oldest brother's alive or he's passed. I'm not sure. But I'll be able to tell you that what I hear. Like, 'cause I feel like what I hear spirit telling me is that he has issues. Like he might have some medical things going on, and he might be keeping it from everybody. But I think that's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure, but I can barely like get that message. It's almost like they don't want to say nothing, but like he's something's up with him. He's not healthy. Something's going on. Pacemaker. Yeah, that must be him then. Mm, no wonder I'm hearing these things. Yeah, he's got issues. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like hearing things like this anyway, because I don't really like talking about people's medical fucking shit on here. But it's just us in here anyway. Just us three. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna have more issues, or he's gonna have an issue soon with his health. Something might worse might happen. But I told them I don't really want to know those type of things. Nothing to do with me. But like they were saying that your oldest brother, or someone that's older. Yeah, yeah. Well, looks like he's got some issues going on. Something something bad might happen to him soon, like with health wise. Unfortunately, that's what this whoever I hear this voice telling me that he's not going to be doing too good in the next like couple of days or weeks. So something's up with him. That's what I got. But if he's on a pacemaker and he's diabetic and he's an asshole, that's him. Then he's probably gonna have some more issues coming his way. So yeah, I believe I figured that out. I knew it weren't your son because I actually got an image of the person and it looks like an older person. I mean, you said your son's 38. I'm like, no, that's definitely not him. Yeah, this person's older. And they like got a mad face. They're like, they're very stern looking. Like he looks like an asshole. That's why I was kind of confused on what they were telling me because I hear the person talking relating the message, but I can't hear it. I can't hear like what the person's telling me. I'm like, say it again because I don't know. I don't want to tell Barbie some misinformation, then she'll be like, "What the fuck you listening to?" I like Spirit to be more clear on what they're telling me because sometimes they blurt things out and then I have to figure it out or I have to ask you certain things in order to figure it out. I'm glad it's not your son that they're talking about. They're talking about him because I said, "Show me the person, like what age they are." And I saw him. I was like, "Oh, well, this definitely ain't her son. She ain't got a son that old." But I said, then I remembered. I said, "You said you have a bunch of brothers." So I was like, "This must be one of her brothers then." That's why I asked if he was, alive or not. Because he's alive, I saw his pitch, like what he looks like, and then I can hear a voice in the background, but his mouth weren't moving, so I knew it's not him. And like I know it's not, he's not gone, he's alive. But all I heard was he has medical issues and he might get worse. So it's like a heads up. Yeah. Well, I see that this guy probably is your oldest brother. The oldest like brother of all could be him. So if this guy is the oldest brother, it's probably him. Like he looks in his like 60s. He looks like he's like 60ish from what I can see. I could be wrong, but I think he's about that age. And if he isn't that age, he looks that age. Like he doesn't look very well. You could tell he's sick. But all I can see is like from here upwards, but he looks mad. They just gave me like a screenshot of him. And I was like, oh boy, this man don't look too good. All right. That's enough for me today. I've been on here for like an hour and a half almost. And it's past midnight here. I need to get my ass to sleep. I actually feel tired today. I got a nice shower and everything. Yeah, I believe it is because the first thing I heard was the oldest is suffering and not getting better. So that's why I said what I said. Yeah. Yeah, we all get older. Shit, I'm getting 49 next week. Who would have thought? And I'm blessed to be alive and well and as healthy as I can be right now. That's why I need to get my ass to bed and get some beauty rest. Okay, Tanya. You would think it's your damn birthday. Yeah. I wish I can sleep a lot longer. Hopefully I'll sleep better tonight. Last night was pretty good. I only woke up like maybe once because the weather was so fucking bad. It's been very windy, so when it's windy at night, like it gets so annoying. Like I hear, the wind and shit. And living at this house is a pain in the ass when it's windy because you hear everything. You know. You're welcome, Barbie. I know you didn't ask me for that, but sometimes it just pops up. It happens. And you know me, I'll relate the message. I don't care. It's all good. Spirit comes through. Being that we were on that subject, it just happens, you know. It's all good. I'm just glad that I can relate the message and everybody, hopefully everybody will be okay. But the best news is Dan's okay and he's gonna be all right. So that's the best news that we got tonight. Keep brother Dan good and we're okay. Let's keep praying. God's listening. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.